let's get it started.
Right.
Let's get it started. I don't know how the rest of the song goes.
I remember back in the DS game Apollo Justice, the first like image spoils who the killer is. That's funny.
Oh, who does it spoil?
It spoils who the first and last killer is.
Oh.
And it was supposed to be like, oh, Kristoff, he's a twist villain. Actually, no, he's not a twist villain. He was always evil.
Yeah. It's just something
I think the only twist villain was Bobby.
He's definitely one of them, yeah. I can't remember if there were... Well, I guess Godot's kind of a twist. Well, no.
Not really.
No,
he wasn't evil. He was,
yeah,
he
no,
was
he's not
protecting
evil.
someone.
Just kind of very antagonistic. Which is different. Because you can be an antagonist without being, you know, a bad person.
Yeah.
Or like an evil person. You can be an antagonist without being an evil person.
I think Bobby's the only one. I think.
And such.
Yeah, I think Bobby is just the only twist villain in this series.
I think so. Fix something real quick.
Tell me when you're back.
Yep.
Actually, no, you're the judge.
Oh god. Court is now in session for, how do I say that? Machi Tobaye, Your Honor. The pixie of the arpeggio. Right, his trial. Court is in session.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is A-OK, Judge. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. Ah, my opening statement, yeah? No, actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you about. Yes? Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. What do you say to them? Eh? I mean, you wouldn't say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down.
What are you talking about?
Actually, I'm going to visit someone who is terminally ill. Right after this trial, the Chief Justice's son.
They have an incurable disease. You ever heard of it? It's called enteritis. The Chief Justice?
Just feels so shoehorned in. His son is afflicted with a most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. I thought saying something moving might be in order of the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on their mind instead of pretending?
She's looking at me with something like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me for like that?
In any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly. Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement. Briefly. You're in luck, yeah, Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think. Zing. forced to review the victim in this case. Romain Letus, age 35. The global manager for Diva Songstress Lamiwa. The cause of death? Blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details. The court accepts this into evidence. 45 caliber. That's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet. However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved. I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse, considering. 2 shots were fired. 1 shot missed, the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, I must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really?
Yeah, apparently weapons that size have a powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it would break every bone in his body.
So again, why do they think a kid did it? The defense will take more care in choosing examples. As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in a dressing room. This dressing room has only one entrance, this door. That does seem to be the case, yes. However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots.
He's talking about you and Emma, huh?
Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course. That's impossible. Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person. One person. That is, of course, the defendant Machi Tobae! Only this defendant could have committed the crime? But how? It's quite simple. It's shrimple, really. The circumstances of the crime scene make it clear. Very well, I assume you have testimony to back up this claim. Please show the witness to the stand.
Dog, this is stupid. This kid didn't do it.
Damn. Hey, Emma. Your name and profession, please.
Emma Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on security detail at the concert forum that night.
Emma seems tired somehow.
Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I've made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know.
I'm sure that makes her feel much better.
I want to hear about these bigger mistakes.
In any case,
Allowing
because you were on
things right to
security
the
details, the crime was quickly discovered. And we were able to identify the killer. You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and your discovery of the crime, please.
Alright. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. Break it down like... At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went to the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. Idiot.
Something tells me she just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It was lucky that a detective was the first on the scene.
Did everyone
Well,
take
that
their
door was the
stupid
only
pill?
way out of the room, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
How can they say that Machi did it?
Look like we need a bit more information.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
We gotta press every statement.
Makes sense.
The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was the detective doing on security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert.
My thoughts exactly.
But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say. The stench of conspiracy. That day, at the concert hall.
Conspiracy?
Well, isn't it obvious? My keys! That whole morning, no, the whole day was ruined! And it's all because someone stole my keys! I couldn't ride my hog to the show, I couldn't open my guitar case.
There he goes again.
Yeah. Isn't it possible you simply misplaced them?
Misplace them? Misplaced items don't just wander into a murder victim's hand on their own! What's this? Prosecutor Gavin, if your keys were in the victim's hand, that makes you a prime suspect. Haha. No. Love, slow acting and new. Atro Kinine is waiting for you.
He's singing something.
Capcom posted their Happy New Year post, and it has Edgeworth and Fran.
Hell yeah.
Does everything with this guy have to be so over the top? Remember Apollo Justice Trilogy came out in 2024? Me too.
Yeah. And then they immediately got replaced by Miles. The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was, like a sailor, adrift on a sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen, so I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task. I see, I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you mean,
Please, the testimony. We were let in.
Oops. Though.
Shut up, Emma. Oh, wait.
You don't know who to blame anymore, do you?
Shut up, Clavier.
I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you.
I gave the Fraulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again.
Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now.
Gee, great.
Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off.
So, no other outsiders were there then?
And then... Hold it!
I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots.
You were the one chatting. I was eating snackoos.
Oh, I've got to eat behind again. Hey, no snacking in court. It's probably because I only had 4 hours of sleep last night. And you're sure the shots came from Lamiwa's room?
Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, they'll keep you quiet.
Thanks? So, how about it? Emma?
You were right. They're hard to be mistaken about that.
Please, either talk or eat, not both at the same time. Oh
Right,
my
so
fucking
after that,
God. That was so loud.
me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. Rock,
Paper.
scissors,
Shoot.
blaring, yes.
When you say rock, are you referring, perhaps, to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days?
That's right, when we went into the dressing room. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall.
They pipe.
They play. Sorry, I got distracted by the music. I like it. Clavier's music is so good.
Yeah.
They pipe bomb.
Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. Boom, 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 boom.
One brain cell.
Yep. Because it's
They pipe-
stupid video.
They pipe sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers.
Oh, I thought that was a typo. I'm stupid. I should have read the full sentence. But I thought it was supposed to say the pipe sound, but no, it's they pipe sound through the, yeah.
What, you thought they had a pipe?
I don't know, my brain is not working today.
That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage.
I definitely
Like any
need to
music.
catch up on sleep tonight.
Did it have to be so loud?
You don't listen to the togetherness with your ears.
You listen to
You
them with
feel
your
it with your
heart.
entire body and soul. He gets it. I always have the backstage monitors at full volume.
When we walked into the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe. Just ask their forehead, objection! Making it easy to determine the time of the crime.
It would be really funny if in universe with that song, like they got Apollo up there to only scream objection. That's all I did on stage.
That's great.
But he has his moment and he's very proud of it.
And then it's gone.
If you could hear that music playing.
Apollo
And
gets
everyone
on
on stage for that song has an alibi.
Apollo on stage.
Get the fuck off! You're not getting it!
Including myself.
Anyway, I closed off the scene and started my investigation.
Ah yes, my favorite Gavin Ayers. Drummer. Unnamed drummer. How could you know something like that?
As I said, it was clear from the circumstance. Pop and circumstance. Listen. We know there was only one exit from the room. That door. The small window only opened a tiny crack. And I was standing in front of that door. So, how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility. The air vent. They vented.
He vented. Oh.
Objection! But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. There's certainly no way you could get through, nor me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child? Remember, access to those rooms was limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed.
And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child. The defendant, the pixie of the arpeggio, flitted up towards this guy and disappeared from the scene of the crime.
Objection! But that's just conjecture!
Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there. You should know it, forehead.
And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Traces that it had recently been opened. Wait. What? And something else was found, quite clearly. The defendant, Machito Bai's fingerprint. What? What?
Order.
I want some burger.
That event was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, our forehead? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one could pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. That one is our pixie.
Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I wasn't whooping it up in the audience.
Trucy was whooping it up in the audience. Well, this wasn't like that. Not decisive as my haircut.
Quite decisive indeed. I believe that's enough of that. The prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the crime scene was watched, making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive.
Ugh.
I believe we've heard enough to determine our verdict, even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit. I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, we have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough.
It can't be over already. Can't be
Very
over
well, I
already.
believe this trial is finished. The defense has no contradicting evidence. The prosecution has presented our proof, clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it better be clear and plain.
Ah, Apollo, they've already got us on the ropes already. You better come up with something quick.
Kristoff, oh, I don't even need to be here. You're fucked, Apollo. I know! Think! What can get us out of this? We need evidence. Or a witness. We need evidence. Or a witness that could prove Machi is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that...
Mr. Justice, do you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case? If you do, you better tell us about it now.
This is it. And so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof. The court wants contradicting proof? call a witness. It's Lamar.
Yeah, that's what I figured. She's with him everywhere.
Yep. Prosecutor Gavin, you claim that there was no witness to the crime, or witnesses to the crime. Are you absolutely sure?
Absolutely. I'd swear it on my career as a prosecutor. And on my $1 million seller hit song, Atro Keen My Love.
Here he goes again. There
That's too
he
bad.
goes.
There goes my hero. That's too bad, because there was a witness.
Ho ho, really now? But how did you come to possess knowledge the prosecution clearly does not?
Because I am the only one in the world who knows this.
It's so funny.
What's going on? I just talked to him now? He's alive! Mr. Latouche, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. You're cold? Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help is on the way. Can't see. Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness? The witness is Siren.
What? The victim said this before he died. Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not.
What do you mean by that?
All we know is what their forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself.
But it's the truth! He said it! I even told you about it! But apparently, you ignored me completely!
It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. And clearly, this rookie lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
You're kinda doing a shit job at it, though.
That's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours, unknown to the prosecution, I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty. Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for.
There's no backing out now.
Let's hear the name of your witness, Justice.
Take that! My mom!
The miroir.
You are my mom.
You're my mom! Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Recall Mr. Latouche's last words. God, we've seen this more than the guitar serenade.
Oh, that's gonna change eventually. The siren. Aha! He meant the siren.
That's right. Siren of the ballad. Lamar! Lamar was only on stage for the second set. And she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness!
I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, my claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime. Very well.
You kind of sound like
Let's hear it from
Francisco.
the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Emma Sky's cross-examination. Please show Lamar to the witness stand.
Lamar would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today, we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is.
It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad The Sarah, the ballad tour.
The blah.
I keep fucking doing that. I don't know why. You are too kind.
Yeah,
You can speak English? Yes, I can. Though I am not very good. There is much I do not know. You speak so well. Have you spent time here before? Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it.
What does she mean? She doesn't know.
I too sought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course.
What's that?
Namiwa suffers from amnesia. Amnesia? Namiwa is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage.
Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought.
As lauded singer Namiwa, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her, thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress. I see. I care surprisingly little about people's pasts. You have nothing to fear in this court, Namiwa.
Thank you.
Yet there is something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness? What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what's happened. Namiwa, let me be frank. I did not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you stand. Oh my.
Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy.
Well, now that you're here, please give us your testimony. If nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome. Tell us what you saw on the night of the crime. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I'm the bad guy.
I must say, you sound wonderful just testifying.
I hope you were too distracted to hear what she was actually saying.
There you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now we can only pray that the defense has the sense to admit defeat. And refrain from detaining her longer yet than need be.
Wow, you just got badder, Apollo. Way to go!
I'm the bad guy.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet.
Crunchy.
Crunch.
Lamar wouldn't talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something. I got to find out what. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you.
Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I don't know?
Lamar, he said you were a witness with his dying words.
I do not know what he meant to say, but that night...
It was a great concert.
You heard me sing? Thank you.
I was hoping you'd get an autograph later, actually.
Of course. Mr. Justice, this is a cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. One of my gavel would be nice. And Judge! Well, what's
Here's
this?
my card.
It's my autograph. Now keeps this trial moving. Well, what? Oh, my grandchild will be so happy.
Apparently his grandson's a big fan.
Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lamar. Tell us what you did after your stellar performance.
Man, this series is great.
You did not return backstage once?
You did not return
Whoops.
backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? Shut up, Lamar.
I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing.
And what Machi would do at the time?
Unfortunately, I do not know where he was.
So much for an alibi for Machi. How was the incident explained to you?
I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Letouce died. Of course, investigations require some security. But Mr. Letouce was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Machi and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand.
Think, what does it ring true about her testimony?
It's hard to imagine Lemuel lying.
She might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What wouldn't she tell me the night of the murder?
Okay, it's either I saw nothing, or I did not return backstage because of the brooch. I think it's...
Yeah, it's that
the
one.
brooch, yeah.
Objection!
Ooh.
Sorry, Lamar, but I'm having trouble believing you. You remember this brooch, do you not?
Why, that's Lemuel's. She was wearing it for her song.
Care to add that to the testimony, Prosecutor Gavin?
What?
This brooch was found after the murder took place. At the very scene of the crime.
What?
Lamar! Bam. How did your brooch get backstage and you did not go there yourself? As Prosecutor Gavin had just told us, you had to have been wearing it during your performance that night.
What is the meaning of this? Lemuel, please explain.
Lamar?
She says English is quite difficult.
That trick's not going to work here.
Your forehead may be large, but you are a lawyer, truly. But you have missed one important fact.
I feel like she didn't say that.
Yeah, no. It's just Clavier,
What
like,
now?
adding words. In fact, at the time of the
Your
incident,
forehead may be large.
I've been
But-
backstage, but only for a moment.
What? What?
Think back to the moment of the crime.
I agree.
You know whereof I speak.
Is she really saying all that?
Probably not.
What you talking about, Apollo?
Talking about that? Whoops.
Damn, bro. Is he talking about that?
It's just in my nature.
Watch this room for me. I have to call for backup.
Right, understood. You want me to make sure no one comes in, right? Visual twos, can you hear me? Cold. So cold. Witness. You're cold? You're cold? You're cold? You're cold, okay. Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help is on the way.
It just keeps going through the scene.
Who there? Who that? Ah, what? What happened here? Oh, am I? I think he's fucking dead. He's dead. He's dead as hell.
I looked into the room. Just a glance, mind you. So this was when your brooch dropped? That explains that. It does. There was no other time I could have dropped it.
But that's ridiculous. You only looked there for an instant, but you dropped your brooch?
Yeah, forehead. She had raised a possibility. The only things that can counter that is evidence. That. So she looked into the crime scene. Actually, I intended to go into the dressing room. I knew nothing of what had happened, of course. The moment I opened the door, I heard a horrible voice. A forehead shouting, "Who's there?" no doubt. A horrible voice indeed. I closed the door immediately. Well, that explains the brooch. Let's return to your testimony.
That's too convenient. She's hiding something. Lamar, you didn't look into the room though, right?
Yes.
Testify as to what you saw.
Very well. Though it was only the briefest of glimpses.
That's new. What did you see in that brief glimpse?
I only opened the door slightly when I heard that horrible voice. And shut the door. I've always wondered, Airfoil. Does that voice of yours lack a volume knob?
It's my court of steel, man! Just back off! A wall? Was there a wall there?
Is what in English? A division or partition, I believe. It was a large dressing room divided into two halves.
murder took place in the inside half. I guess that partition might have hidden the body. Your stream is really bad on my end.
No, I don't know how to fix that. Is there something to perceive?
It's this one. Yeah, it's perceived. It's this one.
Can't remember what this tell was. I think it has something to do with... Is it a mask?
No, it's her throat.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. Hello.
Hey. Trying to figure this out right now. Oh. I mean, you can continue. Yeah, I'm gonna be a minute.
Okay. The late Mr. Latusse's body, you say? Yes. You know something more about Latusse's death than you are saying. What? I could see you trying not to remember, but the effort made you swallow. You can't fool my eyes. It is true. It was so terrible after all. Why did Mr. Latousse have to be shot? One moment, Lemuel. Yes? What was that you just said? Why did Mr. Latousse have to be shot? Yes? She was hiding something. I knew it! Lemuel, I'm afraid you haven't realized it, but your words just now contradict your testimony. Eh? How could that be? Take this! Lemuel contradicted her own testimony, and I have the evidence to prove it. It's I'm assuming it's the crime photo. I'm assuming it's this. Take that! If I do not misunderstand the meaning of contradiction, it is you who contradict, Mr. Justice. Huh? Your evidence is meaningless. Back. No, I got it. Most of the twos have to be shot. That's right.
You got shot.
That's your testimony. I don't remember. I guess it's the diagram.
Take that!
Please. God, what? I don't remember this one at all. It's neither of these. I don't know. Investigation request. What? I guess.
Take that!
Details. It just felt weird. That feels like a weird one. Tell me, Lamore. How did you know he had been shot? Eh? Well, Immediately following the incident, a gag order was placed on the scene. This is the document proving that. In your testimony, you told the court. No one told me anything about the incident. Furthermore, you testified that you had seen nothing. Yet you knew that Mr. Latouche had been shot.
Did I die or did you die?
No, I don't think so. Is my stream still up for you? Oh no,
No.
I think my Discord died. Give me a sec.
There we go.
Do you want to go back to reading or?
Yeah.
Okay.
How could you have known?
Yo! Lamour, you aren't hiding something from this court, I hope.
That sweet song of hers was sounding a little too sweet.
Oh, now I remember. Please, allow me to add to my testimony. Of course. All we want to know is the truth.
She looks kind of pale, huh?
She saw something. I know it. You, the victim, said so.
I saw bullet holes in the wall and knew Mr. Latouche had been shot. He was led by the police to Mr. Gabb's dressing room and told him.
pull up the diagram?
Only a glimpse. Hey, you knew they were bullet holes? Oops.
Wow.
I did instinctively. Yes, I recognize them immediately. I have
Shut
seen
up,
bullet
Lamar.
holes before, you know. You have traveled the world as a singer. You must have sung in places far more dangerous than our country. I go wherever my voice is needed. Those places are many these days.
That's really cool. I hope we get to travel like Lamiwar someday.
I plan on recording my next album overseas. Their studios have a different sound, you know.
Maybe I should go on a Court of Steel tour too. Don't do that. My TV turned on instinctively. Hold up.
No, you're good.
Objection!
Lamar, they call you the scion of the ballad. Ballads
Stop.
are hardly becoming of such a creature.
A put down worthy of a prosecutor, Mr. Justice.
Such put-downs are hardly becoming of you, Apollo.
Stop polishing your forehead and start polishing your characters, huh? Yeah?
Come on, can I be cool for once? Observe the diagram.
No, you're always meant to be a little pitiful little guy.
Correct?
Yes, that is so.
There were bullet holes in the room, yes? You want to see something cool?
What?
Here you go.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
But they were in the wall, the door. But they were in the wall, the door they were on. Fuck. You see? Assuming you merely glanced into the wall, I mean the room. Fuck! You could have seen those bullet holes!
Yo! Lamiwar? Yes? I'm afraid the defense has raised a good point. It appears you have been holding back something. And I must tell you? I must tell you what it is that I saw? Yes. The happenings in this trial are being recorded, and I'm certain it will be on the news in Virginia. You understand your reputation is at stake. It falls to you to avoid tarnishing it. Personally speaking, I still believe that cross-examining her will yield us absolutely nothing.
But she knew how Mr. Latouche died! And he named her as a witness! You must have seen something, Lamar!
Very well. Lamiwar, please continue your testimony. Very well, I shall.
Click. You ready for this?
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But it wasn't Machi. It was a grown person. I know it was. So you did witness the crime. And the killer was a grown person, you say? Ah, this is my first time hearing this, I assure you. Nice play, forehead. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your cross-examination.
Great going, Apollo. You were right about Lemuar. What's wrong? You don't look too happy.
This whole thing smells crunchy. That's what's wrong.
That crunch. But as soon as the music starts, it fixes itself. It's weird.
Music makes you lose control.
Music makes me lose control.
So you were heading toward the dressing room?
Yes.
So this a little before she opened the dressing room door and dropped her brooch. About the same time Em and I heard those shots.
I was on my way back.
What exactly is something like a little window?
Yes, well, window is the best word I know in English. I think this is how it is said, yes? You need not worry, Lemuar. Your choice of words is impeccable. There is a small window in the dressing room in question. Perhaps the defense remembers this detail?
That little window on the wall.
I saw the crime from there. Whoops! I went into German.
Hold it!
You're certain you heard two shots?
Yes, quite certain. I was on my way to the backstage exit. This was when I heard a faint sound, like a gunshot. Wondering what it had been, I peered through the window. That is when I heard the second gunshot, much closer.
There were two bullet holes in the scene. No contradiction so far.
It all happened on the other side of that window. There was nothing I could do.
Hold it!
A grown person? That's a little vague.
I am sorry. My skill with your language is lacking, I know.
That's a little vague.
Certainly you can at least see whether the shooter was male or female. He was a man. A young man. And you're sure of that? Yes. His voice was quite clear.
Voice? Oi, oi,
Looking
oi,
at this
oi,
diagram,
oi.
it seems the dressing room was quite cluttered. It does seem likely that you wouldn't have a clear view of the shooter. As a singer, I rely more on my ears than my eyes. When I hear a voice, I do not forget it. That voice was the voice of a man. So you had a voice, but wait. Couldn't that have been the victim, Mr. Letouce? Absolutely not. Did I not just say I do not forget a voice? If it was Mr. Letouce who spoke, I would have known. Indeed. So you were at the window and you heard the shooter's voice, the voice of a young man.
Apollo, this is a good testimony. That proves it wasn't Machi.
Indeed. If this turns out to be true, it would cast this case into a considerably different light. What is the defense's opinion of this testimony?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Well, I have to say, it's pretty good. Vital, even. This shows that the shooter wasn't Machi.
Huh!
Eh?
Surely you can't be serious, Airforehead.
Why not?
Lemuar, I understand why you would want to protect Machi. And remember, you are the siren of the ballad. And
Hold
lives
on.
do not become such a creature. Shut the fuck. What does the prosecution mean?
Apollo, what's he talking about?
How come no one bats an eye when he says stuff like that?
I recall this state as a crime scene quite well.
Stay in the room?
Yes, events and murder took place. That window was closed. I found it hard to believe you could hear a voice through it.
Oh yeah, it's that time of year. Snap is coming, baby.
What? But I'm sure.
Let me walk. I have nothing but the highest regard for your musical sense. But my opinion of you as a witness is somewhat lesser.
Objection! But she's the only eyewitness we have!
So you say. And the victim named her, the siren, as the witness?
That's right! That's what Mr. Latouche...
We heard your claim. We even entertained the possibility. And it brought us to this. Now, Judge! Yes? The prosecution requests that the witness be excused. Please. I'm afraid I must honor the prosecution's request. There is indeed a question of the witness's credibility.
But Lamar can't testify!
We don't have a chance of proving Machi's innocence.
This cross-examination is over. Prosecutor Gavin, you may continue making your case. Donkey. Now where were we? Ah, yes. I would like to hear from Frontline Detective again.
Objection!
Wait! Let me hear Lamar's testimony one last time!
But the cross-examination is already over. Until such a time as a need arises, this witness may leave the stand.
I'm sorry I could not be of more assistance.
Fuck.
At last, back to the real trial. Ready up for him?
I hope I didn't just miss my only chance.
Frontline Detective, how far had we gone until we were so rudely interrupted?
Don't ask me!
I dislike saying the same thing twice. And I never repeat a song for an encore. If you would, Miss Sky.
I believe I was saying that the only way Mr. Latouche's killer could have escaped was through the air vent on the ceiling.
Yes, there was only one door in the room. And a witness, you, was standing in front of it.
The air vent isn't very big, see? It kinda limits the people who possibly get through.
I certainly would have a difficult time.
Yeah, because you're rectangle shaped. You sure would. Not that you would have been there in the first place, though. Remember, the whole backstage area was off limits to people not involved with the concert. The only one who meets the condition for our killer is the defendant.
Could have been
But
you.
it was a performance. I couldn't have put it better myself. She does state a clear case. While reading the report, something caught my eye. Oh, what's that? It's the circumstances of the defendant's arrest.
Circumstances? Again?
Hey, that's right, Apollo. Remember when we found Machi? That was bizarre.
She's right. Why did Mr. Latouche's body disappear from the room? And end up on top of that stage tower? Holding a guitar, no less.
A perceptive observation there, Judge. Thanks. It was kind of an accident, really. But you work in this job long enough. You got a nose for things.
The judge sure seems pleased with himself.
Very good, Frontline Detective. Perhaps you can tie it all together for us. Why was the body moved? How does that lead us to the killer?
I believe Machu stole the body because of some lyrics. He moved the body to match Lamar's song. Break it down like... No one in this country had a motive to kill the victim. And Machi practically left his signature at the scene. All of this evidence clearly points to the defendant. Lamar's song?
Yes, the guitar serenade. You noticed its code too, did you not?
It's code?
All the events that day followed the lyrics to our song. Sugar, sugar. Oh, that night in your embrace, when you stole away the keys, my heart held on to so tight. Jesus Christ, Nick. First, the keys my heart held onto so tightly were stolen.
When my opponent is a fucking glass bottle, and I'm gonna break it with my voice. Then Prosecutor Gavin's guitar bursts into flames on stage. Ha ha!
Burning on in my heart fire, burn my love away, all away, like a bullet of love fire. Take my life away, all away. Miss you on the
Oh, I kinda-
part.
Yeah,
Guitar up together to the sky.
and it just repeats.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Latou's life was taken by a bullet.
The rest hardly needs explanation. Guitar, up together into the sky. That's mad. It's
Turn
like a
it out,
story
yo.
out of some fairy tale.
I admit I forgot about the song. Someone pointed out that, you know, the reason why the glam rock animatronics exist is so they can be sold in Fortnite. So, I have a theory that we're gonna get Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through Ultimate Custom Night. That's the one. You know, the one with Alex Lee that put a brain rot on us.
Yeah.
But there it is now.
I don't know.
Wait for me. Wait for me. The grand final, as it were.
Finale. Ah!
Hey, you know I was the one who first noticed that.
I've heard of jumping rope to songs and cutting to songs. But killing? It's a wild world out there, eh, Judge? Very well.
Crunchy.
We've heard one song and dance, let's get it on to the next, the cross-examinations.
I swear to God, if I see this clip one more fucking time on my timeline, I'm gonna lose it. I'm not so sure I'm going to be doing much singing. There you are.
I will.
What did you say about my brother?
Ah, fuck!
Oh! Okay, it's fixed. It's getting kind of funny now.
Yeah.
It's literally the same. With like the super slowed down music of when you tried to emulate the investigation games. That fucking killed me. The drunken composer.
Hold it! But Mitsula 2 spoke English. He may have come to this country before.
I looked into that, I assure you.
Oh.
It was his first time in the country, it seems. Apparently, he learned English on his own.
Great. Ace Attorney.
You see? No one here had a motive to kill him. It's certainly not one certainly not in such an elaborate fashion. It does seem difficult to imagine.
Unless our famous prosecutor did it as a publicity stunt.
What did you say?
Damn, that
Prosecutor
got him
Gavin,
pissed.
You did this to promote your song? Of course not, and I am quite dismayed by the ludicrous nature of her claim. Why would I need promotion? Everyone already listens to my music.
They're even in my textbook at school.
And I never heard of them. What does that say about me?
Just likes underground music.
He likes Korean music.
Traditional.
Yeah, traditional music. Also, he got so pissed at that.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. Don't get all worked up, Glimmer Boy.
Hold it!
What do you mean by his signature?
The bullet holes in the wall, of course.
The bullet hole?
The revolver was fired twice. One shot missed and left a hole in the wall.
That means what exactly?
The dressing room isn't exactly spacious. Picture the shooter facing off with the victim in there. They can't have been more than 5 feet apart. It would be difficult, almost impossible to miss at that range.
What the fuck was that?
Philip J. Fry was frozen 25 years ago.
What? I don't even know who that is.
Futurama.
Oh.
Oh god, he was frozen for 1,000 years in the show. That's crazy. How would you feel about that? You were frozen for thousands of years and
I'd
wake up
hate
in the
that.
future.
I'd rather not. Difficult to miss, you say?
You could see a lot of robots though.
True.
Very.
Assuming the shooter could properly aim. Properly.
Properly.
I said it right the first time. No! You can't be serious!
Machi, he can't see.
And it will
That's
kill
why
him.
he missed.
And it will kill him.
Yeah,
The only explanation that makes sense.
his arms would be eviscerated.
He used sound and other senses to fire the gun. He's not fucking Daredevil. Poorly.
That reminds me, the monitor in that room was playing at the time, yeah? Hardly ideal conditions for tracking by sound. A blind shooter. No wonder he missed.
I knew those bullet holes would come back to haunt me. Raise an objection. Think, Joseph, what do I do now? Sure, there were bullet holes left in the wall. But that doesn't prove the shooter couldn't see!
Oh? How so?
Well, there could have been a struggle with the victim.
That's certainly possible.
And it might have been the revolver's fault.
A revolver?
The revolver was a very large caliber, correct?
The shooter wasn't used to firing such a large weapon. Why, it could dislocate their shoulder.
Exactly. The defendant, Machi Tobai, is, as you can see, tiny.
Oh, we're back. It froze.
It's not so hard to picture him firing a gun and missing entirely and killing himself. The kicker alone will throw off his aim.
A convincing argument, to be sure.
Haha, take that, smug prosecution.
Apollo?
Huh? What?
That bit about Machi being tiny and the gun throwing off his aim, aren't you kind of, admitting that he did it?
Oh.
It does not matter why he missed. What matters is that the shooter was, without a doubt, the defendant. Even the defense seems to agree on that point.
Cripes. Ah, crumbs. I really put my foot in it this time.
Well, let's get the facts of the matter on the record. If you would, Fraulein Detective. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony.
Right. From the state of the crime scene, I conclude the shooter was blind.
Hold it!
You can't say you were blind just because of those bullet holes in the wall. I think I've proven that. I wouldn't call it proof, per se. Huh?
You've merely raised a possibility. Fraulein Detective has made a most logical conjecture based upon the evidence. Because there was more evidence than just bullet holes. The defendant was the only one who could have escaped through the air vent.
Objection!
Ah, sink. But wait! If he was blind, how could he know about the air vent in the first place?
Ah, a very good point. Well, Fraulein Detective, if you would care to explain.
So he seemed sure of himself. Recall the crime scene, if you would. There were a step ladder below the air vent. As it happened, maintenance was scheduled for that day. Custodial staff went around checking all the air vents. I don't believe it. Everyone backstage was told about the maintenance, including Machi Tobai. He would have known that there would be a way out at the top of that step ladder. Secret way out. But that's... Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
You could have figured it out for yourself. You only needed to consider what that stepladder was doing there.
Did Apollo call it a ladder?
Yep.
He must be pissed.
Looks like the defense's objection has been squished by a stepladder. Failure full head? Out of ammunition, perhaps?
I've never seen Prosecutor Gavin so aggressive. Maybe he's caught the scent of blood.
Apollo, don't you have something? Anything? We need something to prove the killer could see. That'll put him in his place.
believe the shooter was sighted would do it. I would take down one of their central points. If I have evidence that can prove that though, present evidence. Fine, I accept the prosecution challenge.
As I knew you for there, forehead.
What exactly am I up against here? The prosecution is saying the shooter missed because they couldn't see. Therefore, mind you, who's blind did it.
The defense will please present their evidence. Evidence that overturns the prosecution's claim that the shooter couldn't see.
The crime photo.
Take that!
This is that evidence!
Photograph of the crime scene?
I don't care how much with that smirk on prosecutor Gavin's pretty face. But there's no time to think twice. Time to press on. Dun 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 dun. Yes, Your Honor, the crime scene. There's something in here that decisively contradicts the prosecution's point.
Then perhaps you'd best show us this something. Get your finger out of the breeze and put it to good use, yeah?
Get your finger out your ass and put it to good use.
Very well, show us what you're talking about, Mr. Justice. Contradiction at the scene of the crime is...
Take that!
The contradiction is right here. The smear bloodstains?
I thought it was just my blurry vision. It really was blurry. The way the victim's hand is raised above his head. Much like a gesture I have seen many times in this court.
It's almost as if she wrote something.
Aha! I get it. At least I think I get it.
Get what, Fräulein?
When Mr. Latouche was shot, he tried to write something. And what would he write but the shooter's name? And what would he write it in but his own blood? Pretty good, huh?
Oh my god. Tesla Cybertruck explodes at the entrance to Trump International Hotel.
Ha! Isn't that just perfect?
Thanks for making my point for me. 2025 off to a great start.
Yeah. It's already... Well, there's the thing that happened in New Orleans. And then there's this that happened, so good and bad already.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, that's what I think happened here.
This year is definitely going to be a battle between good and evil, you know?
Yeah.
That does seem to be a distinct possibility.
The victim wrote the killer's name. It's certainly a logical conclusion.
Drat! I just wish it wasn't all rubbed out like that.
Of course it's rubbed out. Why, if I were a killer, I certainly wouldn't want to leave my own name behind. Neither would I.
No one has anything else to say?
About what?
So the prosecution accepts this? You agree this was the victims making an attempt to record the name of the killer? And that the killer tried to rub the name out?
What's your point?
What's my point?
Let me ask you this. How did the killer know the victim was writing their name? When Mr. Latouche was writing something in blood, once the killer saw what it was... Wait,
Once you saw what it was?
but what did you just testify about the shooter? I said... They were blah! Yet the crime scene itself contradicts that! The killer had to have been able to see! Why would they rub out the name in blood otherwise? May I remind the court that the defendant, Machi Tobai, is blind? He could have been the shooter! Impossible!
Order, blah, 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 blah. Please explain to me what all this means. I mean, looking at this photo, it's quite clear that the shooter could see. Yet up until now, it seems I owe the court an apology. The governors are bad with law enforcement ties, yet a murder occurred during our concert. Apparently this caused some confusion over jurisdiction. As a result, some reports were not filed in an entirely timely manner.
I'm not sure I like the vibe I'm getting here.
An updated autopsy report.
Hey, Apollo, look at him. Why is Prosecutor Gavin all relaxed and smiling like that? Like he knows something we don't, and he's about to tell us?
I've got an idea. Let's rock! This is documents. But before that, I have a question for the frontline detective. If I may.
Here comes Clavier Gavin, about to steamroll this motherfucker. What?
Tell me, why do you think that Machi Tobai is blind?
Huh? What did he say? What are you saying? Of course he's blind!
Of course.
He's the blind pianist, right? So he's... Doesn't Lamar lead him around by the hand all the time? No way.
I have a report here on the defendant, Machi Tobai. According to this, Machi Tobai can see perfectly well.
What?
His blindness was merely a publicity ploy by those clever Borginians. He can see quite well.
Objection!
But you said...
What did I say exactly? Red forehead. Not once since the course of this trial have I claimed the defendant was blind. The only one who did was Fräulein Detective.
But that's...
A significant fact, yes. Consider Machi Tobai sees. He was the only one who could have fled through the air vent. I see no problems with this.
But what about the bullet hole in the wall?
Yes, the bullet holes. I believe our forehead nearly explained those for us. He didn't miss because he couldn't see. It was a kickback from the 45 caliber revolver. A simple accident, in other words. How's that? I'm afraid your objection has just flown off for brighter skies. This is where the real fun begins, our forehead.
Stop! I'm already dead!
No. Pokes you with the stick. I know you didn't have what it took.
You jerk! What was it? Just what was I in here for? Comic relief?
Yeah, apologize!
Oh, sorry.
That's no way to apologize!
He's angered the Trucy now. Look out.
Oh, here she comes. If we please end the bickering now.
Whatever, I'm not leaving. I can't leave like this. Boom, boom, boom. I'll come up with some clue to solving this case if it kills me.
Your testimony has already given us enough to convict the defendant.
Don't say that. Aha, what? This bloodstain. The criminal tried to wipe it off, right? That seems to be what happened, yes. We might be able to find out what was really written here. Really? You can do that? That's right, with this. It's called luminol. Maybe you know of it? It's a chemical that reacts to blood.
Ah, yes. Have we done those tests yet? Damn!
That's what I'm going to tell you.
As the bloodstains covered a section of the carpet. In order to perform blood tests, the section was removed and submitted. Perhaps we should request it here in court now.
Right. Go for it, Apollo. Huh? I have to do the test? You just have to spray the luminol on it. Simple. Simple. Chemical that reacts to blood. I've heard of this somewhere. I remember reading this report about Phoenix Wright doing this 7 years ago.
Yeah.
No, wait, 10 years ago.
Yes, I believe an analysis is called for. Have at it.
Can you believe Rise from the Ashes was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Falling down the stairs once again. Right, ready? Easy as pie. Just press insert control here to speak on an area. Here, give it a try. The eyes of the entire court are focused on me.
Apollo, your hand's shaking.
My hands are shaking. Knees
He's
weak.
Mom's spaghetti.
Let's do this! Falling down the stairs once again, falling down the stairs once again. Wow, it really works! Remember when we tried...
This must be the power of science.
Remember when we attempted to read this fucking name?
Oh, but...
Like, we thought it was an actual name, but it was just that.
yeah.
It says... It 314206.
He's
Me
turned into
spraying
a
you.
sprinkler. Ah, now my lawn is all nice and clean.
The sprinkler aiming at you.
Is that the killer's name?
Is it a robot?
Is it a robot? Is it Elon Musk's child? Aha, I have it!
I believe it.
Yeah. They predicted it.
So, what is it?
I thought those letters IPXX looked familiar. This is an Interpol ID number.
Interpol? You mean the International Police Agency?
Then someone busted in the courtroom. You called?
What are you doing here, Sheila Lang?
Yes, we're still working undercover agents to solve international crime. We're still undercover agents working to solve international crimes. Why would he write that number?
How would Mr. Latouche even know a number like that?
Good show, Fraulein Detective. Rock on.
Eh? I still hate you.
We can verify this number immediately. Diane, are you there? Come up to the witness stand.
Oi, Muggy, what's up?
Diane, you heard what we need. Go check into this Interpol ID number.
Sure thing. Give me 30 minutes. No, give me 27.
Not sure what to think of all this. Prosecution's cases are tighter, so it seems. Yet if this number is really that of an Interpol agent,
Oh wait, I know. What if Machi Tobai really an undercover Interpol agent?
that could be a possibility.
This isn't that one
Possibility, yes.
detective anime.
One that would mark him as the killer for certain.
I got a little too known an Interpol ID number. That's what I want to know.
Well, we have some time while we await Diane's report. Let's work on unraveling another mystery, shall we? A curious mystery concerning Machi Tobai.
What are you talking about?
Fräulein Detective, please accept my apologies. I received word that the defendant could, in fact, see just before the trial began. It seemed too much of a bother to tell you.
You had me until that last bit.
This does not raise... Does this not raise a rather straightforward question?
Well, sure. Why did Machi pretend he couldn't see?
Exactly. It makes a little sense. What do you think, Airboy?
Huh? Me?
Machi Tobai pretended he was blind. Do you know why?
How could he know? Also, as of today, the original versions of Tintin and Popeye are now public domain.
Ah, okay.
So you know what that means.
Another shitty horror movie.
Well, that, but I'm gonna make my own Popeye comic.
Oh, nice.
Wait, Prosecutor Gavin knows why, doesn't he?
He's known from the start of the trial. He's been leading us on this whole time.
Something wrong? Do you think perhaps this is all some kind of game? Though that's the moment I heard that report, I knew why. It's supposed to be a lot of sold over 1 million records, really are something else.
What does that have to do with anything?
There was a reason why Machi Tobai pretended to be blind, but it wasn't for his own sake. Getting the picture now?
It wasn't for himself?
Well, Mr. Justice, can you present evidence that shows us why the defendant had to feign blindness?
Machi had no reason to pretend he couldn't see. Which means... No! It couldn't be!
Good show, Forehead. Seems you thought of something.
Ugh, why can't I figure these things out on my own? I hate having to take my cues from this guy. This pretty guy. Very well. Look at this! This is why he was pretending he couldn't see.
Take that!
That is Lamar?
Lamar and Machi Tobai. Recall their relationship. In particular, their unique arrangement over the years before visiting our country. Lamar and her pianist. They would always walk together, she leading him by the hand. Even when they got on stage, she would lead him to the piano. She would walk all the way over there with him. That's right, because he was blind. She led him at all times, never letting him go.
All times,
Yet, we have just learned something that makes their arrangement peculiar indeed. Machi could see. Why did they have to keep up this act this whole time?
Well, wasn't it part of their, performance?
I think there's a simpler explanation. Machi did not need to be led by the hand at all. That can only mean one thing. Really? Really? It was all the other way around. The one who needed to be led by the hand was Lamar!
What's this? So you mean to say that La Mémoire she's...
Yes, Your Honor. Lamar is blind. What?
Order! This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin. Is it now? Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim. The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Yet I see it is not as vast in vain at this time. It's quite correct. But that makes no sense.
Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something?
Well, since we have her here, why not ask Lemoire herself? I believe she is still in the witness reading room.
Apollo, what does this mean for our case?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I even imagined it till now. Because...
Bring in Lemoire. Lemoire. It pains me to deeply call you before us again in this way, and yet I must.
Please, do not be concerned on my behalf.
His eyes. I really can't see you. Really?
It is true. How funny it is that a tiny lie born in the Virginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world.
So you are...
Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became La Mémoire. Know, too, that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for La Mémoire.
I see.
You may recall me saying something towards the beginning of this trial, Forehead.
What's that?
I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses.
Ah.
Now, La Mémoire, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. I admit I'm a little lost here.
I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor.
I have no memory of the light. I debuted it in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others.
But this is a murder trial.
I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret, no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would...
She told us the truth in the beginning. Then she had said she saw nothing.
The crunch is back.
Yep. Very well. Does the defense have anything to add?
I like to cross-examine.
But what is there left to ask?
You just explodes.
There's one thing in her testimony that bothered me.
It just sounds like a block of TNT going off in Minecraft.
Perhaps it is best if we let you get it out of your system. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself. Very well, the defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness.
TNT is so fucking funny because it's used to, like, blow up, like hard places in Minecraft and, like, to get some items and stuff, but no, people just use it to cause terrorist attacks.
Yeah, to fucking blow each other up.
Okay, there's only one part that bothred me.
Minecraft is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a
Me
social
putting-
experiment.
Me putting a block of TNT under your house. Just wait. Just let me ask about that, I'll be happy.
Ugh.
Brrr.
There, then it's fine.
Music make me die. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche?
Of course, he was my manager.
So he knew. That's what's been bugging me.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice? I believe I know what is bothering our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes?
Is he right, Apollo?
Yes, I was. Again with this.
Yeah.
Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness, and he named you. Why would he do that? He knew you were blind!
I don't know. Tisk tisk.
Please.
What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself.
Meaning what?
There was no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more. The witness, siren. We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense. I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. I mean what he said before that.
Before? Ah!
That's right. He tried to tell you. Then he said can't see. He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness. I see. Too bad the defense did not. Well, that forehead? Try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time.
Ah!
Order. Recall Lamiwa's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it. But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that. That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as a witness? And I really did hear them. 2 gunshots, and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible, as the window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Your Honor! What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We had the results back from the investigation. The investigation? Ah, the Interpol numbers that Mr. Letus left us.
You can always count on Meekins.
Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescent, your report, please.
Oi, mate.
Hello, Governor. Well, that's not Australian.
The fuck?
Sorry. I'm terrible.
I asked Interpol about that number.
Again, my brain is just rotting away at this point.
I'm sure you'll find their answers intriguing. Oi, mate.
Quick fuck as always, Diane.
I know. Didgeridoo boomerang.
Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent?
IPXX314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Letus.
What?
Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Letus himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity. And a cautious killer tried to write them away.
Mr. Letus was an undercover Interpol agent. So him being Lamuar's manager...
But just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found.
Well, out with it.
It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently it belonged to Romain Letus. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms. And the registration number on the revolver matched.
So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver.
Wait, you think this little child took him down and took the gun?
That's what everyone seems to think, apparently.
So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover op. I wonder how that ties into everything.
It's got to tie in somehow, you think?
Yeah, somehow.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out.
Wait! Lamuar, is something the matter? That voice just now. Diane? Mr. Darien, is it? It was him. I am sure of it. It was him? You aren't saying... That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Letus, when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him! It was Mr. Darien! Is this some kind of a joke?
What? No way! You fucking bitch!
I recognize that terrible Australian accent anyway.
Oh, fuck you! You're right, this isn't my real voice. This is my real voice.
The door to darkness, alright?
The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state that the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I've never seen that happen before. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamar fingering Darian. Christian, not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lamar heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it.
Hey, no wimping out now, Apollo.
How old are you, Nia? You're 20, like 20 something, right?
What?
How old are you? You're like 20 something, right?
21.
Get ready for scoliosis.
Oh. I mean, I already kind of have a little bit of minor scoliosis. It's, like, very minor. So, like, it doesn't hinder me at all.
God, human body sucks.
Yeah. True. I wish I could just be a fucking...
Robot.
I wish I could just be some kind of...
Robot, yeah.
Formless entity.
Oh, ditto?
Sure. I just want to be a shapeshifter, man.
Yeah, so ditto.
Alright, let's save it here. Excuse me.
Excuse.
Menu. Save.
Damn, what's taking so long?
Time. I think it's because my computer's or my laptop's a bit hot. There we go. It's taking its time. There. Alrighty, so that's it for the stream. See y'all tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow.